and activity as the proud U.S. women's national soccer team franchise gets set to take another step. We're 2 games into the new era of U.S. women's national team soccer. The excitement is back, but what have we learned? Well, for starters, the vets still shine, but the youth is awfully promising. Wambach continues to be one of the game's most dominating players. The States were hoping for depth in the nets, and they haven't. A defense that was long dominated by experience now relies on guile, guts, and speed. It's the new look U.S. women, and they take to the LA stage next. And that stage is the Home Depot Center on the campus of Cal State Dominguez Hills. Today from Carson, California, Iceland comes to town, and they try to become the first team this year to score a goal on an absolutely dominating Team USA squad. With today's combination of soccer, sun, and summer, it has a distinct soccer camp feel. So we're going to embrace that notion and run with it. We're going to have instructions, some entertaining devices to kind of show you what the players are going through on the field, and of course fun. But the main reason you're watching is to catch a glimpse of the new look U.S. women's national team. Joining us in the booth, longtime U.S. women's national team captain Julie Foudy. And give us kind of your early impressions on this new look squad.
Everyone talked initially, Rob, about this changing of the guard and what's going to happen to this team when they lose all the veterans. I would say they're doing just fine. 6 games, undefeated, like you said, and haven't allowed a goal this year. Granted, they have been playing against the top teams in the world, but they have beat a German squad.
Defense is solid, but it's the offense and the scoring that sells the tickets, and they have a lot of options up top.
And we have a very cool slow motion look. Wambach continuing to be a threat this year. She was such a weapon with Mia Hamm last year. And then added to that mix, Christy Welsh. 7 goals on the year of the 18 the United States has scored. And then Tiffeny Milbrett coming back onto the squad after being gone for 16 months. Here you're seeing her 100th goal for the United States. A beautiful finish off a ball from Allie Wagner.
Only 6 players in women's soccer history have hit that century goal-scoring mark. Milbrett is in that distinguished group now. Her continued assault on the record books when we return to Southern California.
Smooth from the first taste. Refreshing every single time. The great taste of Bud Light. The summer is calling, and so are the friends. Bud Light. Great taste for your great times. It's that time of year again. Time to gear up for school at CompUSA, where you'll find the HP Pavilion DV1227 US Notebook PC featuring Int'l Centrino mobile technology. For the freedom, flexibility, and power to run your most demanding applications on the go. Get your back-to-school basics today from Int'l, HP, and CompUSA.
Motors love curves and twists and turns. But under extreme motoring conditions, handles can get too tough to hold, leaving your hand raw, red, and irritated. Ouch! That hurts. If you're going to motor in a car with superior handling, you need an edge. You need Moto Go Grip. With NASA-inspired space-age polymers, Moto Go Grip wicks away sweat and increases your endurance. Last longer. Motor harder. No slip of the grip here. And best of all, Moto Go Grip goes where you go. Now, even the most terrifying turns won't shake you. Hold out for the best. Hold on to Moto Go Grip. Moto Go Grip comes in tuxedo black, racing stripe, and now rally check. To order your Moto Go Grip for just $19.99, visit MotorMate.com or send a self-addressed stamped envelope to MotorMate. Order now and get this handy carrying case. Now you're ready to Moto Go.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. Iceland winless in 7 all-time meetings versus the U.S. women's national team. And Julie, we take a look at the starting 11 for the red, white, and blue today.
The United States will be playing in a 4-3-3 formation. These are their defensive trouble spots. Rather than the pinched-in 3 midfielders getting wide, They're going to need to get their outside backs into that spot, which means Reddick has to slide, Marcus has to slide, and Frimpong will have to slide as well.
And speaking of Kat Reddick, the college football-loving Alabama native, ESPN wired all game long today.
Here we go, here we go. A little bit more focus, guys. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Laura. Yeah, Laura. Yeah, her. Yeah, me.
We didn't get laptops to stay chained to our desks. The multitask force breaks free with Roadrunner Speed Zone hotspots from Time Warner Cable. Put that report on the boss's desk from your cable pool side. Go ahead. Your data's secure with Speed Zone. Download your email on a run through the mall. Speed Zone's fast, all right. The fastest. Plan your next mission while they check your transmission. You don't have to be a Roadrunner customer. Anyone can join the multitask force. Just go to Roadrunner Speed Zone hotspots for wireless broadband access and get the secure Wi-Fi speed you need.
Welcome back to sunny Southern California. A 27-degree swing in temperature between Carson, California right now and Reykjavik, Iceland. Tiffeny Milbrett wearing a global positioning system today that will track her miles run by giving one of those special signals to a satellite, kind of like the Never Lost system. It knows where you are, where you're going, how far you did it. Also kind of sounds like Big Brother, if you ask me. All kinds of bells and whistles we got here today, so we'll see how much mileage Millie puts in. She's also, don't be alarmed by those eyeballs. She's wearing Nike Max Sight made by Bausch & Lomb. Filters light as opposed to just simply changing the color of the wearer's eyes. There's no incidental light creeping around the sides like sunglasses. Athletes tested, found they squinted less, were able to relax more, and had exceptional views of contours and movements. Players love them. Baseball players, soccer players, everybody. So nice little look at what they're going through as we're underway here from the Home Depot Center. U.S. in the red tops, blue bottoms, taking on Iceland in the all-white. We'd like to thank Bud Light and all of our U.S. soccer sponsors for allowing us to bring you this game without interruption. Kat Reddick, North Carolina product, plays it to Shannon Boxx, will be the focus of a halftime feature today. Reddick going long, looking for Milbrett. Can't handle it, out of bounds. As we take a look at the starting 11 for Iceland in the cage, Maria Augustsdóttir, currently studying at Harvard University.
Fine institution. Not quite as fine as Stanford.
How did I know that was going to get in there?
And in the middle for them, their back line, Hendriksdóttir and Gunnarsdóttir just finished a 4-year career at Notre Dame as a national championship. They're playing a 4 midfield, so a 4-4-2 system and 2 up top.
Both of those Icelandic forwards, promising players. Not a whole lot of goals to their credit on the international level, but Iceland has a lot of hopes for them in the future. Whistle, foul on Iceland. Good look at Christy Welch, the Penn State product, having a fantastic year. 7 goals, 1 assist, has started every game this year and scored in every game she's played in.
She is having a phenomenal year. And you can already see, Rob, Iceland going into a low-pressure system. Defensively, we saw the variance in temperature between their home and here.
They were at the convenience store this week looking for an SPF in the triple digits and not finding it. They arrived from Iceland on Thursday night, had planned 2-a-days for both Friday and Saturday with this heat wave that is really gripping the whole U.S., but particularly this West Coast. They quickly scaled things back and just had 1 session Friday, 1 session yesterday, and trying to save their legs for this midday heat here in L.A.
I got a chance to talk to their coach yesterday, and he said, we're happy it's not like it was a few days ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was about another 20 degrees hotter 2 days ago. So 81 degrees is nice for them. Although sitting inside the stadium, having played in here a few times, I know it gets a little bit hotter on the field than it feels.
Lori Fair looking for Wambach, who muscles her way, then gets it poked away. Fair digs in. 50-50 ball won by Iceland. Poked away by Boxx. Played wide right and well out of bounds by Gunner's daughter, and Tina Frimpong will take the throw in. Good look at Greg Ryan, the head coach for the U.S. women's national team now. Has a lengthy career playing collegiately in the States at SMU, professionally, and coaching. First real chance now for the U.S. Floated ball, Milbrett just misses it. Cleared out there by Johanna's daughter, playing it wide right and out of bounds. There's Yuri Svensson, his second stint as head coach of the Iceland women's national team. Frimpong plays it back. Frimpong from Washington University, a converted forward, making her second appearance with the U.S. women's national team. Heather Nitz, University of Florida product, loses it, but retains it with the throw-in. Angela Hucles getting the start today. Originally, that central midfield slot was reserved for Allie Wagner. Some left meniscus knee issues this week prevented her from practicing the last couple days and from playing today.
And Angela Hucles will give a bit of a different look than Allie Wagner, but she is a similar player. They're both very technical on the ball and love to make out of that seam.
Shannon Boxx sending one. Wambach stretches, Hucles fires and blocks. Johanna's daughter playing it wide left. One back. Boxx bursting through down the right side to Milbrett. Too much on that first touch. Throw-in States.
And this is what that defensive midfield seam is so good at. If you're playing it right, you're picking these balls. So Shannon Boxx did a great job of picking that ball there, intercepting it, and Tiffeny Milbrett just taking a touch too far isn't able to give the ball back to her. But really, she should take a touch and give it right back to Shannon Boxx. She's in on that play.
There's Frimpong on the left, spinning. And now playing it back, this portion of the match, presented by Comp USA. Boxx, a lot of early touches in the middle of the park. Frimpong, nice fake. Little burst. As Fair uses her. The service over the head of Wambach. Good hustle from the forward. Now be a goal kick for Iceland as we take a look at Julie's fantastic bounce four.
Where I pretend to be a coach for a little bit. Rhythm, it's something Greg Ryan has talked a lot about, trying to get possession, get their rhythm back with a lot of new players on this roster, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then Iceland's range. They can shoot bombs from outside. They scored 2 against us last year from long range. And then the third one being a balance of the forwards up top for the United States. They're playing with a 3 front, a balance in runs. And the fourth one, the outside back factor, which we'll get into as well, Rob, with the 4-3-3 formation and the importance that position plays for the United States.
Nitz and Frimpong, those outside backs today. Long ball. Again, trying to go over the top of Iceland. Here's Milbrett on the right side. Read well by Gunner's daughter. Played out of bounds. Nitz throws it back. Kat Reddick all alone. Birmingham, Alabama product. Sends one towering up. Wambach trying to nestle underneath it. Off her coming out for Iceland. ESPN2's presentation of U.S. Soccer is brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. Phillips, technology should be as simple as the box it comes in. And Comp USA. Visit Comp USA today for all your technology needs. Welsh, high boot, gets away with it, pursuing the ball. Cleared out by Iceland, and this will now be the game's first corner kick opportunity for either side.
And there's always the balance of sending long balls versus playing to feet. And Iceland's going to try and keep things very compact. And so you'll see the United States initially send a lot of balls over the top to try and pull them apart.
States under Greg Ryan also likes to utilize these short corner kicks. Hucles is right next to Milbrett and receives it. pulling a couple defenders out, opening up space in the box for those big trees in the red and the blue. Milbrett sends one in. Frimpong gets ahead to it. Fair almost had it. Rather Boxx.
And Rob, Coach Ryan talked about doing short corners to pull some of the defenders out of the box. Because they have so many large targets, he wanted to try and get numbers up there. You saw Iceland's 2 come straight out for short corners.
Take a look at the bench that Greg Ryan has available this afternoon. Shannon McMillan, longtime veteran. Abby Wambach right there on the right. Right there. Or rather, Danielle Fotopoulos, I should say.
I was going to say, do you have your Max
yeah, I know. I want Welsh, Fotopoulos, and Wambach out there at the same time.
I know, exactly. The biggins, I used to call them.
And one of the biggins with the push-off, that's Wambach.
And a different look for the United States. Christine Lilly out. She was doing her soccer camps, kind of the theme of our telecast today. This week, 5 players from the last roster against the Ukraine are over playing for the under-21 team at the Nordic Cup. A chance for Coach Ryan to look at some new players this week.
And the U.S. Women's National under-21 team at the Nordic Cup in Sweden. We'll show you their results in a second here. They are having the usual amount of success, as you'd anticipate from pretty much any U.S. Women's National Team program. Here's Iceland with really their deepest foray into the U.S. defense, and they quickly lose it. Win it back, though. Spray it wide right. There's Peter's daughter. Closed down by Frimpong. Boxx there to clean it up. Outlets one deep down the left side. Sends Wambach on the run. Pass back to Augustsdottir.
And this is a good look at that gap we talked about. You could see Tina Frimpong having to step up as an outside back into that gap. You don't want to have your midfielders trekking across the field the entire game. So good pressure by Tina Frimpong.
This is the second meeting between the U.S. and Iceland women's national teams this week. On Wednesday in Sweden, the under-21s beat Iceland 4-0 and then took care of Denmark. And today beat Germany. They have moved on to the championship game Tuesday, where they will take on Norway. Heather O'Reilly with a couple goals in that Iceland win. Harvey Lloyd a couple goals in that Denmark win. Frimpong, as this portion of the match is presented by Gatorade. Kate Markgraf wearing the captain's armband. Over the top, one touch, offside flag stayed down. Welsh tried to get that to Milbrett.
Good look at Kate Markgraf wearing that nice captain's band, filling in for Christine Lilly. Said yesterday, Kate, you were in the band? She goes, yeah, I'm a little nervous about it. I'm going to be honest.
Markgraf, the Notre Dame product. Some of you may know her better as Kate Sobrero, her maiden name. Long-time force in the back for the U.S. women's national team, and is seeing her role increase as well. It's more than just defense for Kate this year.
And Rob, what has always impressed me about Iceland is here is a country of 300,000 people. In total, 300,000 people. And I said to their coach, Coach Svensson, how many female soccer players do you have in your country? He says 4,000. We have about 300,000 soccer players just here in LA County alone. And yet they have such good instincts for the game. I said, how are you guys so good for such a small country? He says, it's all we do. We don't have many other sports. We play a lot of soccer, a lot of football. And you can tell because they have very good instincts for the game.
That whole really region of the world is increasing their talent for both men's and women's soccer-wise. You've seen a lot more guys from the Norways and the Swedens and the Finlands of the world playing in the English Premier League and whatnot, and these countries in women's soccer so strong as well. You see the comparison in square miles and population. Iceland's size just a smidge smaller than Kentucky, and their population, they need 3 more digits to get to the U.S. status. Yeah,
that's unbelievable. Really is.
But here they are, tied with the U.S. in the 13th minute.
We have 7 million female women, girls and women playing soccer in this country to their 4,000.
Free kick now for the States. Let's see what they do with this set piece. Kuechly's will take it. And again, a lot of big targets in the box for the U.S.
There's a good look at all the big targets for the United States. Wambach, Frimpong, Boxx, Reddick. A lot of giants in red for this game.
Kuechly's, the service.
Kuechly's is trying to whip one across the box. Fast and tight, but she puts too much spin on that one. She's got to do better than that. That's a good look for the United States.
University of Virginia product. Provided some depth to the 2004 Olympic team, playing a couple matches there. Can pretty much play every position in the midfield. Last by Gardner's daughter goes out of bounds. Iceland needs to value their possession a little bit more if we're going to maintain themselves in this game. That's something this new U.S. team is priding themselves on, is pressuring the opposition and creating more and more offensive chances for their forwards. Win that ball back earlier and get going forward.
And here's Tina Frimpong, a converted forward, so it's natural for her to be faced up against the defender, trying to take her on, and just gets pushed off the ball. Smart call by Iceland.
And now Frimpong with the foul. She scored a school record 42 career goals while at the University of Washington. It's her third call-up into national team camps, at least, earning her second international appearance.
And she has been all the rage with the players in terms of they cannot believe how fast she is. She tracks balls, she gets behind balls. Now the question is, as a forward, can she bring an offensive presence to that back line?
Athleticism will only get you so far at this level.
Exactly.
Reddick back pass. Hope Solo finally involved in the game.
That always seems to be the challenge, Rob, with American soccer. You get a lot of fast, tall, big, athletic players, but how are they on the ball technically? What can they provide offensively? And that's the key in this next level of the game, is getting those outside backs attacking and getting them forward.
This portion of the match presented by Phillips. I want to remind you, this Thursday night here on ESPN2, great night of soccer. Freddie Adu, the defending MLS Cup champions DC United, host English Premier League champion Chelsea at FedEx Field. It's all part of World Series of Football. Kickoff and coverage begin at 8 Eastern. First yellow card of the game. In the 16th minute. If you are in the District of Columbia area, get on out there Thursday night for Chelsea and DC United. Lori Fair receiving a yellow card.
Lori Fair not happy about the Iceland player stepping on her. Gives her a little shove.
Johanna's daughter.
A friendly nudge.
So mutual yellow cards for Johanna's daughter and Lori Fair, the 16th minute. Kat Reddick floats one in. Falls to Welsh. Milbrett. Oh, nice closing scoop. Asta Arnadottir.
And the key with these free kicks for the United States is most often they're going to win that first ball with the height we have on the team. But organizing around that second ball, so who's going to pick up that loose ball? Iceland is brilliant at picking up that second ball.
Reddick. Long throw in. Off the head. Wambach turned by Kuechly's. Go back to that dual yellow card in the 16th minute.
And Lori Fair taking a touch back into pressure. She probably should be taking that away from pressure, creating a duel for herself. And the two just doing a friendly jostle. That's the great thing about soccer.
That was a friendly jostle, huh?
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the unfriendly jostles then. It's not often Abby Wambach is ridden off the ball. Oh, a stopper. doing the damage there.
Abby has talked a lot about wanting to stay on her feet more. We saw her in the first game against Canada. Even though it was a wet, slippery surface, she was on the floor a lot, on the field a lot.
Marquardt. Boxx. Right in the belly. Her defender. Hendrick's daughter there, and another goal kick for Iceland as they are weathering this U.S. storm right now. Scoreless in the 18th.
And a good recovery run by Hendrickson there. Looked like Shannon Boxx was going to have a wide open look on goal. She's knocking it back to where it came from, to the far post.
Shannon Boxx, 28-year-old product from Redondo Beach, just down the street from here. You took her to the beach the other day. We got a nice halftime conversation between the two of you coming up. Oh, what an amazing story, from winning an NCAA title at the University of Notre Dame, traveling overseas, playing the WSA, getting that call-up to the U.S. Women's National Team just before the rosters were announced.
Yeah, having not even played a game with the national team. It is amazing.
Frimpong, too strong on that touch. There is Boxx.
The United States having a very difficult time getting any type of rhythm. One of the 4 points we talked about at the start of the show, Rob, is possession, getting a rhythm, holding the ball, patience.
Now, is that the U.S.'s fault, or give credit to Iceland?
I would say a combination. Iceland is staying condensed and compacted defensively. But at the same time, the United States is too many technical errors. They're giving the ball away easily. They're not showing enough patience. Play it simple, and all of a sudden, big things happen.
Hughes wins that one. Intended for fair. There's Heather Nix. Reddick, back pass. Marquardt. On the ground, Wambach lays it off, takes a foul, we play on. Welch try to get that one off, blocked. There's Lori Fair to Nix, back to Fair. Given time, sends in a lefty. Headed down and back, intended for Boxx. This portion of the match presented by Bud Light. Oh, nice move by Boxx. Takes the service, earns the corner.
Much better patience by the United States. And Shannon Boxx from a defensive midfield seam. Nice nutmeg, that's an extra point in our books, to get in behind the Iceland defense. I think that should count as a goal when you're
I think FIFA should consider using nutmegs as tiebreakers in tie games.
I always thought so.
Ribbon ball, well put in. Cleared out by Iceland. Fair skies up to win it and then banged out.
Shannon McMillan and I used to have a nutmeg competition during games that Tony DeChico didn't particularly like.
Loaded ball, Wambach crashing and just off target.
And the United States now doing a better job of getting numbers in the box on crosses. The last 3 crosses, they've only had one person making a run. This time around, you see Angela just putting it across the face of the goal. Abby making a run. Milbrett in there. Abby usually very strong in the air. Doesn't seem to have her balance there or get enough on that ball.
4-0 in the shot category in favor of the States. We anticipate that lead bulging significantly. Poor ball by Welch, intercepted, but Boxx wins it back for the States. Marquardt, oh, nice fake on the trap. Sending one, looking for Milbrett. Trying to lay it back. Seeger daughter playing it out wide. Jones daughter down the line, and another turnover. Mitz settles with the chest. Here's Welch. Gets by one defender. Make it 2. How about 3? One-time ball, Markgraf. Hughes brings it down. And pops it over to Iceland. Iceland looking for a break. Markgraf will have none of that.
And Christy Welsh coming all the way back into the midfield to receive that ball. And you're seeing the outside forwards, the strikers, having to come all the way back because their midfield is getting caught defensive.
You are watching U.S. Women's National Team Soccer live from the Home Depot Center, the campus of Cal State Dominguez Hills. The U.S. hosting Iceland. The state's absolutely untouchable this year. 6 games, 6 wins, 18 goals scored, 0 goals allowed. In fact, they have a string of 7 consecutive games now without allowing a goal. That's a lot for just about any other country, but for the U.S., that's just halfway to their record of 14 consecutive shutouts. Here's Lori Fair, uncontested in the middle of the park and charging down the spine. Fakes a shot, then lets one go.
I love that look by Lori Fair. We don't do that enough in the midfield, where she's going right at that back line, because what it does is it forces them to have to make a decision. Do I step on the ball or do I go with a run? So it's making that defense for the Iceland collapse on the ball. She chose to shot there, but it opens up all these passing lanes for her as well.
Milbrett.
Here's another one of the factors we talked about, Rob, was the outside backs. Heather Mitz getting forward, helping their forwards out, so Christy Welsh doesn't have to come back into the midfield to collect balls.
And Mitz throws it back to Reddick. Again, all kinds of time to serve this one in. Wambach wins it. Welsh was there as a secondary attacker, but they can't quite hook up. Kat Reddick, ESPN Wired all game long. Let's take a listen.
Game.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Time! No man, yeah, back! Hey, let's hold here, We can win this, get ready to drop. Hey, Sabis, let's push them up so that we can win that ball. Because it's going to go shorter every time.
When she says let's push them up, she's talking about the midfield. Stepping them up so that they're actually winning that first header.
Mitz blazing down the right side is not going to win this race, but will earn throw-in.
I got a good chuckle out of the defensive line doing their little grouping, because all the little lines go to their little groups. Little flashback, midfielders.
This portion of the match presented by the Home Depot as we're set for a long throw-in from Kat Reddick. Flicked on and then bouncing in the box. Right into the hands of Augustsdottir.
The danger in having so many targets up top with the height and the size and the physicality of Christy Welsh and Abby Wambach is that you fall into this let's launch it up to them and see if they can win it type of play. So the United States cannot fall into that type of play.
Here's a break from Milbrett. Can't get to it in time.
And Milbrett, of course, is the one that offers that slashing, I'm going to get in behind defenders type of player for the United States.
Play by Lori Fair. Milbrett spent a couple months playing in Sweden, getting back in shape, and she'll be heading back over there to earn a paycheck and play some soccer. She's always pretty much gone to the beat of her own drummer, on and off the field. That's not a knock on her.
No, she's always been such a great independent thinker.
Boxx. Here's Mitz. Reddick. That one intended for Wambach. Hughes. Well, yesterday there was a Major League Soccer game here between DC United and the Galaxy. The heat on the field registered at one point at 110.5. Right now, 97.5 degrees Fahrenheit.
A cool summer day.
Yes, you are not in Iceland anymore.
97.5. And that's where you just saw Kat Reddick try to send a long ball over the top, which wasn't on. That's where the United States, the patience will pay off, and that Iceland will be chasing all over the field, which is tiring.
Cheeky back heel from Milbrett. Welsh, the header, couldn't get enough of the noggin on it. But it will be another corner kick opportunity for the States. This is their third corner of the game. First two corners had all been taken short. Let's see if they go with that option this time. So far, nobody making much of a move to Milbrett. Now Fair does. Again, two defenders now pulled out of the box. Fair sends in a righty service, crashing it over the top. Kat Reddick, great opportunity for the red, white, and blue.
And that's a great service by Lori Fair. The defender actually went with Tiffeny Milbrett's run, so Lori Fair decided to serve it right across. Whips that ball, bending ball in. Reddick unable to keep it down.
Seventh shot of the game for the U.S. Iceland still seeking their first. A nice layoff by Boxx. Frimpong with some space on the left. Finds Wambach. Excellent settle and turn. Reddick pops one over to Milbrett. Tough ball to handle. She loses it. Next Saturday afternoon, the 2005 Sierra Mist MLS All-Star Game. You can see it live on ABC Sports at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Coming your way from Columbus Crew Stadium in Ohio, the best of MLS. Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey and company taking on English Premier League side Fulham. That sports two U.S. men's international players, Carlos Bocanegra and longtime crew forward Brian McBride. Again, live next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ABC, the Sierra Mist MLS All-Star Game. Wide open on the left. Wambach. Closed down, played back. Kicks it back. Frimpong making a run. And speeds her way to it. Fires and not far off target, youngster.
This is exactly what Greg Ryan wants to see out of the converted forward as she times her run well here. She beats that Iceland defender on the outside and cranks one on goal just wide, but has the presence of mind as a forward to take on as an outside back now.
23-year-old from Vancouver, Washington, as this portion of the match is presented by Gatorade.
Another friendly jostle in there, Rob.
Yeah, there's Fair finding Mitz, has been very active down that right side. Nice pass finding Welsh interior. Back to Fair, Milbrett. Move Mitz, who's got a little midfield in her game today. Continued the run and not enough pace on that Milbrett offering. Foul on Olaf's daughter. Tugging and pushing on Fair.
A good idea again by the United States. But what's happening is their targets are getting static in the box.
Here's Mitz. Swings it in. Dangerous ball, and Huckley's just mishit it.
Another good ball in by Heather Mitz. Driving it into that near post. Angela Huckley's making that near post run. Dragging the defense with her as well. Does well just to get ahead on that one.
The shot lead increases for the U.S. Still scoreless, 32nd minute. Another corner kick opportunity coming up for the States. Fourth corner of the game for the U.S.
Here we see the big targets for the United States. These three will be crashing near slot and far post.
Towering ball. Settled down by Reddick. Tough ball to handle. At the back post by Welsh, I believe. All right, here come the States again. Boxx back to Fair. Laurie by one defender.
Laurie Fair looking very confident on the ball. She was playing over in France. She said helped her immensely. She's going back. She said she loved it so much.
Los Altos, California native. There's Reddick again, a long throw in. Another corner for the U.S.
We're going to get another good look at the way the United States is going to set up.
Quickly taken. Milbrett sends it in the first time. Wambach got tangled up in the box. May have rolled an ankle trying to get to that. And is whistled for a foul.
And Rob, with this low-pressure defense, one of the things you have to do is dribble at them, to pull them, to displace them. Laurie Fair just trying to do that in the box. It can't all just be slow passing, shifting. It's got to be, sometimes you got to go right at the heart of them, just like you have to drive the lane in basketball to try and pull out the defenders. Same thing in soccer.
Laurie, 15th on the all-time cap list for U.S. women's national team. You forget she's been with this program for that long. A starter on the 2000 Olympic team when she played every minute.
She fell out of favor in 2003 and part of 2004, and then actually without having even played with the team in 2004 made the Olympic alternate, made the team as an alternate.
Last year she was busy being a sideline reporter for ESPN2's Major League Soccer broadcasts. Right now, our good friend Brandy Chastain and Heather Mitz doing duty in that role. Coming up at halftime, you get a chance to sit down with Shannon Boxx, talk everything about from buying a new house to golf to World Cup to Michelle Akers. You guys, I don't know how you covered that many topics in that such a
good little chit-chatters.
That's right. CONCACAF Gold Cup final highlights between the U.S. men and Panama also coming up. U.S. and Panama, after 2 overtimes tied at zeros, they are moving to PKs right now at Giant Stadium. This portion of the match presented by Phillips. Julie, you and I are watching that game out of the corner of our eyes. We were getting set for this broadcast. Both countries with some great opportunities in that one. Show you as many highlights as we can jam in there if possible. But surprisingly here at the Home Depot Center, it's Iceland holding the USA scoreless 35.5 minutes.
And I'm sure Coach Svensson for Iceland has said to them, we can keep it scoreless for this first half, keep our defense compact. We'll be able to get into that second half and hopefully come back at them.
This is just Iceland's second national team match this year. They had a 2-1 or 2-0 win earlier against Scotland at Scotland. Their Icelandic league is in full swing right now. They play it from May to September. So they're in shape. They're in mid-season. And their 2007 World Cup qualification games get going in August. Iceland opens up against Belarus. A week later versus Sweden. There's a foul by Boxx. Czech Republic and Portugal also in that group as Boxx receives the third yellow card of the game in the 37th minute.
Here's another good look at the Shannon Boxx tackle.
Ouch.
She comes in very hard. Trying to get the ball, of course. Just clips her ankle.
That's a clip.
Another friendly jostle.
I don't know. That's a well-deserved yellow card.
No malintent. That's the good news.
Now, speaking of that young lady, Shannon Boxx, here's what Kat Reddick has to say about her.
Shannon brings in a defensive presence that I think that people are beginning to compare a little bit to Michelle Akers, which is a huge compliment to Shannon Boxx, because Akers is the best, one of the best ever played. And Shannon just wins the balls in the air. She somehow wins most balls that people are trying to pass, and it makes it a lot easier for me as a defender, because I kind of just, you know, I'm anticipating the ball, but I don't really have to, because most of the time Shannon's going to win it.
High praise for Shannon. For Iceland, that's Emma Sigurdardottir on the sideline, one of their starting forwards. She's torn her knee ligaments on 2 separate occasions, but has really improved her game and fought back to become a top-class player. She's played very well in the recent Icelandic season. And she's tended to on the sideline. So right now, Iceland down a woman.
I'm sure they were very happy for the break. Both teams were. But at the top of the game, Rob, we talked about getting the outside backs forward, and Iceland playing a low-pressure defense. You can see here, Tiffeny Milbrett. She has acres of space, and with only 1 forward for Iceland playing, she's got to sneak into those gaps. They've got to. The United States has got to get numbers forward. There's no reason to keep 4 for the United States on the back line when Iceland's only throwing 1 up top.
Was that a tactical decision that the players have to make, or the coach needs to say that?
Well, both, but I think Coach Ryan has given them the leniency to say, I want you attacking. The problem with some of these younger players, with Tiffeny Milbrett, is she hasn't played a defensive position. She doesn't know when to go necessarily, and of course a lot of that is instinctive. So he's going to be evaluating whether her timing is good, when she goes, if she can read the game like that.
Just saw a second ago Emma Sigurdardottir coming back onto the field. So Iceland back at full strength.
And here you see, this is the 1 forward for Iceland that they're playing high. So there's lots of space for the United States that they need to step into.
Christy Welsh playing it back. Mark Raff, captain today for the U.S. Lefty long ball, looking for Milbrett, who does win it. And Iceland takes it away. Mitz, good burst of speed. Low service.
And again, Mitz getting forward, but the runs in the box are a little bit static. You don't have anyone making that hard near post run, which is going to draw the Iceland defense to that near post. And then, hopefully, you're opening up the back post.
There's Mitz again, this time on her left. Another low ball. Turned by Welch. Still has it. Fires well off target. Looking at that outside post. It was teasing her.
Great creativity by Christy Welsh, though, just trying to find a little bit of window for her to get that shot off. She's so good when she can crank that shot. She just needs to create a little window, and that's exactly what she's doing with a lot of lateral movement. A good thing for the kids at home to see. Feints one way, gets the defender off balance, and winds up.
She has scored in every U.S. women's game this year, including the game winner versus Germany at the Algarve Cup in Portugal, a very prestigious international tournament. Played every year by the top countries in women's international soccer. Former standout at Penn State University. Put in by Johanna's daughter, and one back by the U.S. Here's Boxx, Wambach. Nice ball to find Milbrett. Heads it down to Welsh. Some nice combination play there by the States.
Good series there for the United States. I talked to Abby Wambach before the game about the 3 front. They've been playing a lot of, the United States has been playing a lot of 3 front systems. 4-3-3 against Canada, 3-4-3 against the Ukraine.
Milbrett, the med pass. Welsh, the chance to Topo, and wide.
Another excellent look by Christy Welsh. She'll want that one back to put it on the face. Tiffeny Milbrett a little toe poke. Gets lucky that it runs through the legs. She'll tell me that she meant that. And then Welsh, she's just trying to get something on it because she knows two defenders are closing her. Off balance, isn't able to get enough on it.
Well, shots are now 12 to a donut for the U.S. 12-0 advantage. Here's Lori Fair. Again, Nitz getting involved offensively from that outside right fullback position. So 1v1 moves, loses it. Good bit of defending there. Raquel Logatorder. Iceland slow to close down Reddick here. Allows her to get that service. Chiefly's fighting for it. Wambach will win it. Cuts. Shoves a defender aside. Replay on. Frimpong flash off the kneecap. And another corner kick as another Icelandic player is down on the field.
I like that Frimpong is looking to shoot there, though. Forwards mentality. Instead of trying to float it into the box, she's ready to get one on goal.
Frimpong, the daughter of a Nigerian mother, a Ghanaian father. Milbrett working this with Hucles. Just missing Boxx. During that earlier injury, Kat Reddick, ESPN Wired. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Play it like 1-2 off the stops, and then look to go because like you play stops, she plays back to you, play Abby, you 1-2, because you're gonna beat them by speed all day long, and that way you don't have to worry about dribbling and stuff. I mean, even though you're beating like 4 or 5, you know, 1-2.
Suddenly Reddick, the grizzled vet, taking the youngster under her wing.
I love it. Kat Reddick telling Tina, I want you to get forward. What we've been talking about here. Even off of Kate Markgraf, play it and get forward. There's these huge gaps. Step into them.
Here is Frimpong getting forward. 1 minute of stoppage time, we've been told, will be added to the clock in this scoreless affair as first half starting to wind down. Not much left in this one. Well, Milbrett has been the target on far too many of those flighted balls in the box. She's obviously vertically challenged compared to the other forwards she's paired up with today.
And Iceland doing a good job of keeping their shape, and they're basically saying to the United States, keep launching those in. We'll take that battle. If you just want to send it in the air, even with Christy Welsh and Abby Wambach, we'll take that battle. Shoot from outside range, but don't penetrate into our box. So the United States needs to do a better job of actually getting in the box and displacing those defenders.
Well, they always say you burn more energy playing defense. But I gotta say, Iceland is probably doing a pretty fair job of conserving their legs for this opening half. And that is it for the opening 45. Who would have thunk it? The U.S. unbeaten and unscored upon this year, tied at zeros with Iceland. When we return, a conversation with Shannon Boxx, the Notre Dame grad who went from really a no-name to World Cup to now being one of the world's elite.
Just because she's so physical, her skill gets overshadowed. And she can spray the ball left and right, and the more she plays at this level, the better and better she keeps getting. And she could be one of the best in the world at that position if she isn't already.
Always smooth, right from the start. Always refreshing, time after time. The days are heating up, and the Bud Light is just right. Bud Light. Great taste, your great times. It's that time of year again. Time to gear up for school at CompUSA.
where you'll find the HP Pavilion DV1227 US Notebook PC featuring Int'l Centrino mobile technology. For the freedom, flexibility, and power to run your most demanding applications on the go. Get your back-to-school basics today from Int'l, HP, and CompUSA.
Sport is sport. A foul's a foul. And a bat's a bat, even if it's flat. 10 feet on the west side is 10 feet on the east side. Football is football, unless it's football. Now, a win's a win, a loss is a loss. But no matter what, you better come with it, because it's 90 feet to first, no matter where home is.
Why isn't there a DVD recorder so easy to use that I don't hear Dad say words I'm not supposed to hear? Why isn't there a defibrillator so easy to use that almost anyone can use it? Why can't technology be as simple as the box it comes in?
We think technology should simplify life, not complicate it.
It's the Suit Mart Back to School Truckload Sale. We're bringing in truckload after truckload of back to school specials.
Old school knits, $7.99 to $9.99.
Dickies cell phone shorts, $16.99.
US Polo tees, $9.99.
The best deals on school uniforms.
It's the Suit Mart Back to School Truckload Sale. 4 locations, open every day.
Are you paying too much for commercial auto insurance? Call Auto Insurance Discounters for a free quote. As a business owner, you're faced with many decisions. One is securing the best commercial auto rate. Auto Insurance Discounters offers 24/7 claim service, and we have convenient payment options. If your commercial auto rates keep going up, fight back and add money to your bottom line.
For your free quote, call 713-789-AUTO.
And welcome back to the Home Depot Center after the opening 45, Iceland in a 0-0 tie with the United States. Shannon Boxx's roller coaster career, well, it's back on the upswing. She started in 1995 with an NCAA title for Notre Dame, then went to Germany to play professionally. Poor experience, came back to the States. Great success in the WSA, and then she was traded back to good soccer in the New York area, and finally a late call-up to the U.S. women's national team just before the 2003 Women's World Cup. Since there, it's been continuing success for the California product. Recently, Julie Foudy caught up with her on the beach.
We are here in beautiful Hermosa Beach with the star central midfielder from the United States women's soccer team, Shannon Boxx. Let's rewind to 2003. The league is still around, and you're playing for New York, and you have no international caps, no international appearances, and you get named to a World Cup squad.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Oh, man, amazing. God, it seems so long ago now. But you know what? It was awesome. It wasn't expected, and I just wanted to have a good time and play hard, and I kind of went out and did what I could, and it was a great experience playing in the World Cup.
But you know what I love about it is you come into a situation like that, and immediately you're making an impact.
Right.
You know, and that's hard to do, and I've often said, you know, I think of Shannon Boxx as like a Michelle Akers. She's that kind of player. You know, she's dominating, she's controlling, she's playmaking.
Well, thank you for comparing me to Michelle Akers. That's very high, and I don't think I could ever get to that. But I'm going to be trying.
You moved away. You bought your first house. You didn't just move away. You made the big first purchase.
Yes, I did.
And
I'm an adult now.
Yeah, how is it being a homeowner?
Yeah, you realize you have to actually take care of it.
Yeah, that takes some time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and when you're not home, it's kind of hard.
Am I going to have to start calling you like Martha? Martha Boxx?
No. I tried to do the gardening yesterday. Yeah, not so good.
Well, the one benefit of having 6 months off is there's a lot of time to shop, play golf, right?
Okay.
Are you doing any of that? How is your golf game, most importantly?
It stinks. I think I've only been out once. Yeah, no.
What?
Yeah.
That's what professional athletes are supposed to do.
I've been told that, but I'm having a good time, though. I mean, I'm coaching a lot, trying to do that part of it, and I enjoy it. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy being out there with the kids.
And that's kind of my free time right now.
And what does the future hold for Shannon, Martha Stewart, Boxx?
Definitely no gardening. No, for me, you know, I do. I want to play as long as I can, and definitely want to go through another World Cup and another Olympics, and you know, do that whole thing.
I think you got at least a couple more of each, don't you think?
I hope so.
Come on.
I hope so. I'm starting a little older than you guys. So, but
you're a rookie.
Yeah. So I'm trying. I want to. I want to play as long as I can, and this is my love. So. I want to keep playing.
That's great. I hope you're around for decades and decades.
Me too.
U.S. is a better team with Shannon Boxx on the field.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, Shannon Boxx and her U.S. teammates held scoreless through the opening 45 minutes here at the Home Depot Center. Iceland and the U.S. tied at zeros. When we return, highlights from the just completed Gold Cup championship game between the U.S. men and Panama.
All right, here's one. You're stranded on the island. Name 3 things that you want with you.
A beautiful woman, an endless supply of Bud Light, and oh yeah, another beautiful woman.
Hey, Sid! When are you gonna paint the hut?
Not until he builds the raft.
He said he built the raft yesterday.
Girl, he
my mama
said
told me
that.
to get stranded with you.
Oh, I got to work on my fantasies.
Bud Light, great taste for your great times.
Now this is what I'm talking about.
Sport is sport. A foul's a foul. And a bat's a bat, even if it's flat. 10 feet on the west side is 10 feet on the east side. Football is football. Unless it's football. Now a win's a win. A loss is a loss. But no matter what, you better come with it. Because it's 90 feet to first. No matter where home is.
It's that time of year again. Time to gear up for school at CompUSA, where you'll find the HP Pavilion DV1227 US Notebook PC featuring Int'l Centrino mobile technology. For the freedom, flexibility, and power to run your most demanding applications on the go. Get your back-to-school basics today from Int'l, HP, and CompUSA.
You take care of your body. So can your toothbrush. There is more and more evidence that oral health impacts overall health. So it makes sense to use the Sonic brush, used and recommended by more dental professionals. Sonicare, because your mouth is the gateway to your body.
Why isn't there a DVD recorder so easy to use that I don't hear Dad say words I'm not supposed to hear? Why isn't there a defibrillator so easy to use that almost anyone can use it? Why can't technology be as simple as the box it comes in?
We think technology should simplify life, not complicate it.
Discover innovations that are pretty handy and just plain cool. You can, only at the Home Depot. With everything from a ladder that starts out really short and ends up really tall, to Glidden ceiling paint that goes on pink and dries white so you never skip a spot. At the Home Depot, we're driving down costs every day on innovations you'll wonder how you ever did without.
The Home Depot, you can do it, we can help.
Soccer fans! The first ever World Cup qualifier in Hartford. Bring your biggest American flag and experience the passion of international soccer. The USA takes on Trinidad and Tobago Wednesday, August 17th, 8 p.m. at Rentschler Field. Call Ticketmaster at 860-525-4500 or visit ussoccer.com.
Glad you're back with us in Southern California. We're close to second half kickoff between the U.S. and Iceland. Some great news for the U.S. men's national team earlier this week. The latest FIFA World Rankings coming out. They check in at number 6, their highest ranking ever, but those rankings mean nothing when you're on the field. And today they are, or rather just were on the field, taking on Panama, Giant Stadium, the CONCACAF Gold Cup final. Championship game of this regional tournament. Went to penalty kicks. Casey Keller And that's why he's in the net. Big save on Panama's first chance. The LA Galaxy's Landon Donovan to put the U.S. up 2-1. Got it. And then substitute Brad Davis from the San Jose Earthquakes. The game winner for the lefty as the U.S. wins their third ever CONCACAF Gold Cup title. Great win as they continue their World Cup qualifying, but we focus now back here on the U.S. Women's National Team alongside Julie Foudy. I'm Rob Stone, and your initial thoughts on this one are they're getting their chances, but the sharpness not there.
No, the sharpness is not there, and you can see that they are all over Iceland. They're getting their looks on goal, but they're heading everything over the bar. So they're just missing, the United States just missing a bit of sharpness. Lori Fair making a good run out of the center of midfield, pulling that Iceland defense out. Tina Frimpong, an outside back, getting forward for the United States, putting one on goal. A good look by Shannon Boxx. Another good look by Kat Reddick. Christy Welsh tries to frame the goal to make it a little bit bigger. Unable to get anything on frame. Kat Reddick again over the goal. That's the big point. They have 14 shots, very few of them on goal. The U.S. has not been shut out this year, not even close. They've scored 18 goals in 6 games. They need some now when we return.
This place is disgusting. I feel dirty just being here.
All right. I've got one last thing I want you to see. I think you're going to like this.
Is that a...
Yes. It's a beer tree.
Honey, we're home.
Bud Light. Great taste for your great times.
Nothing quite like a beer straight from the tree.
It's that time of year again. Time to gear up for school at CompUSA, where you'll find the HP Pavilion DV1227 US Notebook PC featuring Int'l Centrino mobile technology. For the freedom, flexibility, and power to run your most demanding applications on the go. Get your back-to-school basics today from Intel, HP, and CompUSA.
Sport is sport. A foul's a foul. And a bat's a bat, even if it's flat. 10 feet on the west side is 10 feet on the east side. Football is football, unless it's football. Now, a win's a win, a loss is a loss. But no matter what, you better come with it, because it's 90 feet to first, no matter where home is.
Our new fan is cool, and what we paid for it is even cooler.
Right now at the Home Depot, you can seize the summer. Get 20 to 30% off select ceiling fans and lighting, including a best-selling brand, Hampton Bay, and designs from 100 you won't find anywhere else. It's just one more way we're driving down prices, and at up to 30% off, giving you more options.
At the Home Depot, you can do it.
Now that Roadrunner comes with AOL, your computer is packed with so many extras. Extra speed, extra security, and extra entertainment.
Hey, honey, check this out!
Roadrunner High-Speed Online. Bigger and faster.
Call 1-800-ROADRUNNER and get your first 6 months for only $29.95 per month.
Roadrunner High-Speed Online from Time Warner Cable.
Customer response to our 78th anniversary sale has been overwhelming, so we're keeping the big savings going, but for a limited time. Save 23 to 54% on every item for your home, all with no interest for not 1, but up to 2 full years.
And don't forget, you can win this Cadillac CTS from my Lawrence Marshall Chevrolet and now Cadillac in Hempstead.
If you really want to save money, the 78th anniversary sale is at your fingers for 2 final days.
And welcome back to the Home Depot Center. Greg Ryan's U.S. Women's National Team held without a goal. First half. Take a listen. Kat Reddick, ESPN Wire today.
Boxy, you want us closer to you or are we good? You want us closer to you or are we good? Okay. Hey, get in the center, get in the center. Make coming. Good, time now, time. Plenty of time.
Good sounds from Kat Reddick. More technology. Tiffeny Milbrett, we had that GPS system on her the first half. She logged 4.9 miles in the first half. That is roughly 72 trips up and down this 120-yard field. She will not be logging many more miles today. She is on the bench to start the second half.
She is going to be so happy about that. Killing the midfielders. She's not making my case for the midfielders at all.
Danielle Fotopoulos coming on for Milbrett. The big three up top now of Fotop, Wambach, and Welsh. And that's a starting front court in a lot of basketball teams. We'd like to thank Bud Light and all of our U.S. soccer sponsors for allowing us to bring you this game without interruption. There is Danielle Fotopoulos, mother of two, getting back in the game on the national team level. Great person. And here is Fotop, lefty crack, not much on that.
And this will be a true test for the United States. The three up top with Christy Welsh, Wambach, and Fotopoulos. Three very similar players. Abby Wambach talked before the game about needing balance and runs, balance and movement.
To knock it around the back right now. Fair fighting for it. Turnover. Here's Iceland again. Logadottir playing one forward and doesn't find her intended target. Wambach settles, closes, traps, and sprays one. Over the top, finds Welsh. Welsh on her right, in the box, cuts to the left. Boxx, back to Welsh. Lefty floater, headed out. Boxx drills one.
And a great ball over the top by Abby Wambach. But Christy Welsh just too slow to attack that back line of Iceland. She allows 1, 2, 3 defenders to track back with her and unable to get that shot off. She's got to go at that back line with speed.
There's Björk Gunnarsdottir coming on for substitute for Iceland, or Sigurdardottir. You're noticing a lot of daughters on the Iceland team. Well, the Icelandic last name is the father's first name plus the word daughter. So my daughter in Iceland would be Ralph-daughter.
I am Jim-daughter.
You're Jim-daughter.
Yes. Two daughters, speaking of daughters, two daughters that are missing the Helga-daughters, their sisters. The Thor Helga-daughter for Iceland is their star goalkeeper and their captain. Asta Helga-daughter, both attending their other sister's wedding.
Chance for the U.S. Welsh trying to get that one to Wambach. Quickly outletted by the keeper, Augustdottir. Fair trying to win it back for the States, doesn't win that battle. Well won by Hughley's. Here's Frimpong. Avoids one sliding tackle, cuts it. Fotopoulos plays it out wide. Wambach, great lefty service. Welsh was crashing. Here's Fair, cross field to Mitz. U.S. looking for that first goal today. Continues her run. Nice work between Boxx and Mitz. Heather, the lefty service. And saved from going out of bounds by Augustdottir. Quick look there a second ago, Danielle Fotopoulos. NCAA's all-time leading scorer with 118 finishes. Remember the 99 women's World Cup championship team and also holder of a USSFA coaching license. Her and her husband recently started up a youth soccer club in the Tampa Bay area. In fact, I played against Danielle Fotopoulos a couple months ago and her husband. It's not what you want to see on a Monday co-ed game. Fotopoulos and her husband out there. Like, guys, we're going to mark this one up in the L category before we kick this one off.
She toss you around a little bit before that?
She's got a smidge of size on me.
Because
she was talking a lot of smack, too.
She tosses me around a lot. She used to.
This portion of the match presented by Gatorade. Now, at the beginning of the game, Julie, we checked in on your Foudy score. How are they faring?
Rhythm, the first one we see, not doing so hot on. Too many technical errors, unable to hold the ball. Iceland's long-range shots we haven't seen much of. Balance on top, that's going to be critical in this second half, third point, with the three big, tall strikers. And then the outside back factor. We're seeing Heather Mitz get through. We're seeing Tina Frimpong, but it's not enough just to get forward. They have to displace that back line of Iceland.
So that's 0 for 4 then, I think is what you're saying?
I'm thinking I need a little help on my telestrator drawing.
You're a rookie. We'll cut you some slack.
I'm loving it,
Take some time.
I end up covering up the words I want to talk about.
Yeah, I thought you were crossing that off. And I said, oh, actually, that's a circle. Well, here's another chance for the U.S. Heather Mitz with the throw-in. Again, possession been absolutely dominated by the States. They cannot get one across that line. Topless with the header, cleared off and out for another corner kick. It's fair hustles to get this corner in play. U.S. trying to get that tempo up and see if they can make an attack on these soon-to-be weary Icelandic legs, at least weary legs you would assume. Frimpong with a crack, and that's stuffed at the point of entry, punched off the line. Mitz. Heather's got some good speed. Mitz trying to get around the defender, gets off the cross. Instead, earns corner kick. ESPN2's presentation of U.S. Soccer is brought to you by Philips. Technology should be as simple as the box it comes in. Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real, it's all here. And CompUSA. Visit CompUSA today for all your technology needs.
Here you're going to get a look of two sitting right in the middle for the United States. They're going to try and get any deflection off a head ball. So
Reddick wins it.
Second ball.
Botop off the post and goes down. Topless almost had the game's first goal.
And that's exactly what that person in front of the goalie is supposed to do. Keep that ball alive. So the first ball comes in. Reddick gets a header on it. Christy Welsh just trying to obstruct the goalie for Iceland. And then everyone's crashing the goal. So Kat Reddick does a great job to get it right on the goal. And Danielle Fotopoulos frustrated that she didn't put that in the back of the net.
Danielle with 14 career international goals for the 29-year-old Florida native.
And with a new coach brings new life for a lot of these players. Danielle Fotopoulos getting another life. We have a lot of players getting their first caps. So it's interesting because new coach, they like different styles, different types of players. Greg Ryan is going with a much more athletic, tall type of player.
Chance now for Iceland. Jana's daughter unable to latch onto that with a lefty effort. Kate Marcraft, Frimpong. Tough first touch by her, put her in danger. Ended up losing it. There's Boxx. Reddick. Here's Welsh. Cuts inside. On her right. Chips one. Looking. Fotopoulos. Boxx the blast. Rather Hughley's.
It's one of those that you hit right on the sweet spot. A defensive clear that goes right back down into the middle is always dangerous. Angela Hughley's there trying to put it back on goal. Gets underneath it a bit, but she did get all of that ball.
19th shot of the game for the U.S. for a goal kick won by Fotopoulos. Wambach facing Crane. Double team, loses it. Poor clearance finds Welsh. Christie. And out of the reach of Hughley's that time.
2 poor clearances by Iceland are giving the United States their chances, but they're not able to create much. They need a variance in attack. Right now, all they have is Abby Wambach up top and Christie Welsh up top, but they're not able to get numbers forward.
Frimpong. Tight space to try and jam that one into Welsh. This portion of the match presented by the Home Depot. We go downstairs. Tiffeny Milbrett on the headset joining us. Tiffany, your evaluation of your 45-minute performance today.
Yeah, not bad. I think, you know, obviously in the beginning there, couldn't even find the broadside of a barn. Couldn't touch it very well. But, you know, towards the end, really feeling comfortable with the ball and getting things started.
Tiffany, we talked a lot with Abby Wambach about the balance of the forwards up top. How did you think that went today with the variance of runs?
Well, I think it went all right. I think, you know, we're still trying to learn the new way with this new team. So, you know, with me, I want to get in behind and get those runs. It's just a matter of, I think, the team, you know, from the defense and the midfield finding those runs and the timing, you know, being correct with that.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that the GPS monitor says you made a lot of runs. Did you hear the grand total?
I think so. What, 4.2 or
4.9? Don't cheat yourself.
Wow, it feels like it.
you crushed the midfielders, by the way, so you're killing my point.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I just, you know.
Chancer Fotopoulos just off target.
They say forwards don't run that much. Well, there you go.
And a good point to end that on. Tiffany, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Good chance for Danielle Fotopoulos, who's had a couple opportunities since coming on. Iceland set to make another substitution.
This is one of those clinics for young kids about why you need to head down. And it's very hard to do. I'm not saying it's an easy task, especially when you're on a full sprint and the defender's in your face jumping up. But everything's going over the crossbar for the United States.
Aline Steiner's daughter coming on. Some trials in Italy last year. Iceland is doing themselves very proud today. Currently ranked 18th in the world. Just about every player on this roster is really an amateur. They have a normal 9-to-5 job. Frimpong can't keep that one in.
A few of them are playing here in the United States. August Stoddard in goal is at Harvard. Richmond University, 4 of them just finished playing there. We talked about Gunas Daughter playing at University of Notre Dame.
Won an NCAA title there at Notre Dame in 2004 as well. Notre Dame women's programs always had great success doing some international scouting and recruiting. Wambach just losing it. Hughley, Welsh. Offside flag is up. Take a final look at Tiffeny Milbrett's GPS numbers. 4.9 miles today and 45 minutes of activity. Now, she knew she was going to have this GPS system on her today, so I think there's a little mental note inside of her head to, you know what, make a couple more runs. You know, run to pick up that throw-in ball and help the keeper out with the goal kick.
Coaches are going to be asking us to monitor 11 players every game.
Yeah.
Motivation.
You're going to have to check the calibration on that one. No offense to Tiffany. Wambach breaking through. Can't get to it. Was momentarily held up as she began to make that run, hence the whistle.
Kurt Zeitz wanted to give her the advantage, and Abby Wambach is saying, I'm not going to get to that ball. I don't want the advantage.
A good opportunity upcoming now for the States to get their first goal of the game. Scoreless in the 60th minute. Reddick will take it. Slided, far post. Fotopoulos off the back of her head. Frimpong chases it down. Shields. trying to spin by. Saves it. Oh, sweet move. Gets hacked just outside of the box. No whistle.
And you can see the forward in Tina Frimpong. She has that confidence on the ball to take on, goes at 2 Iceland defenders. And Carrie Zeiss isn't going to blow her whistle on something like that. I think that's a penalty kick.
It's something. Hughley's floating. Wambach who won that. Boxx trying. Now Wambach again. Welsh is there. Spinning it back. Finding Wambach. U.S. regroups. States are buzzing. You kind of sense something brewing here. Not on that service, though. Cleared out by Gunar's daughter, and this portion of the match is presented by Comp USA. Marcross sends it wide left. Frimpong. Lori Fair. Topless. Losing it.
And one of the things Tina Frimpong's going to learn as an outside back, that she has the freedom to get forward a little bit more in the gap early on. When we talk about a flat back 4, it's flat back 4 when they're defensive, in their defensive stance. Offensively, those outside backs should be in a more pressing offensive position to start for them.
Wambach with the foul. Sometimes Abby.
And here you can see Abby is always getting kicked at, hacked at, and there they just get her from behind.
Sometimes Abby's whistle for fouls just because she's bigger than the rest of the players. I want to remind you this Thursday here on ESPN2, defending MLS Cup champs DC United, host English Premier League champs Chelsea, FedEx Field, all part of the World Series of Football. Kickoff coverage at 8 Eastern on ESPN2, ESPN and ABC, official broadcast partners of the 2006 FIFA World Cup and Major League Soccer. A couple of U.S. subs set to come on. Shannon McMillan coming on for Christy Welsh. And Lori Lindsey also set to make an appearance. Right now, though, it's Lori Fair in the 62nd. To Welsh. Ben Welsh has scored in every U.S. game this season. He doesn't have much time to continue that streak.
Everything the United States is creating right now is very predictable. It's one pace. It's to feet and nothing with creativity. They're going to have some players that step up and actually try and go at that Iceland back line and do some creative things. Shannon McMillan is a perfect example of a player who will want to take on and mess things up a little bit for the United States.
McMillan, USA's 6th all-time leading scorer, 60 goals, 53 assists. Angela Hughley's coming off for Lori Lindsey. Great moment now for the Indianapolis, Indiana product. Lori Lindsey earning her first international appearance.
Little San Diego Spirit are out there, Rob.
Spirit dies hard. Boxx. Thinking about a long-range effort, fires on frame, poorly played, Patopoulos bangs home the rebound. International goal number 15 for Danielle Patopoulos, 1-0 U.S., 64th minute.
And Shannon Boxx doing a good job of penetrating, pulling out a defender, and cracking one on goal with enough pace that Augustsdottir is not able to hold it. Here's another look. Augustsdottir is going to want that one back because she should really hold on to that one. It's right at her hands, but Boxy, give her credit for putting enough pace on it, and a great look from the Phillips goal cam. Danielle Patopoulos with a forward 6th sense following up that shot and able to finish it off into an open net.
So let's see what that does to the proverbial goal-scoring floodgates right now. Wambach sizing up her options, fakes the cross, loses her defender on her left foot, looking for Patopoulos, give her 2. Boom, boom, U.S. up 2-0.
That is always the wacky world of soccer. It takes 64 minutes to knock one in, and then they come much easier. And what a super sub for Danielle Fotopoulos, making a great run. And here is a perfect example of heading it straight down on the line. Another great look from the Phillips goal cam, keeping it on target and heading down.
Give Abby Wambach high props on that service as well. Beautifully placed, flighted. Here's Fotopoulos. How about a hat trick? Pops that one up aimlessly as this portion of the match is presented by Bud Light. We were scoreless until the 64th minute, and it's been about a minute and a half flurry of 2 goals, courtesy second half sub Danielle Fotopoulos. Frimpong, some good hustle. Energy back on the field for the U.S. Shannon McMillan. Cutting inside, laying it off, fair, one touch, topless. Tried the dummy, didn't work.
And the subs for the United States have given them a real spark. Danielle Fotopoulos, Lori Lindsey, Shannon McMillan.
There's Lindsey, finding McMillan. On her left, takes a bump, fires across the goal mouth, nobody there to finish.
And Shannon McMillan faced up on the 18-yard line is where you want her. Faced up and taking on 1v1. The United States not following that back post with a run.
And Wambach with the foul as that one was going out of bounds and undercut her defender. She's going to receive a yellow card here in the 67th minute. 4th yellow of the game. I believe that's Asta Arnaudotter down on the field.
And Abby Wambach always racing down balls, even when she doesn't think she has a chance at it. Even if she has to go through a player to get to it. Getting chopped from behind is a yellow card. Abby Wambach was talking this week about the reserves and how well they were doing, and that they're beating the starting team in practice. And immediately you could see the impact these reserves have brought to the field.
I want to remind you, next Saturday afternoon, 2005 Sierra Mist MLS All-Star Game. Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, Carlos Ruiz, all representing the U.S. They take on Fulham from the English Premier League side, which features U.S. internationals Carlos Bocanegra and Brian McBride, live from Columbus, Ohio, 3:30 Eastern next Saturday on ABC Sports. Iceland will continue a woman down right now. Fair won that header almost off the side of her head. I think her bell is still ringing on that one. Here is Fair. Oh, cheeky little flick. Wambach across the box, wide open box. Boom! 3-0 U.S.
A sneaky run by Shannon Boxx coming from a defensive central midfield position. The central midfielders for the United States, Fair and Boxy, haven't been making too many offensive runs. And here's a good look at Fair just chipping it into Abby, and Abby having the presence to look up and find her seam. And Boxy finishing it nicely, keeping it low. And another good lesson for kids at home, you don't have to hammer every goal in. You can just place it with a nice pass inside of the foot.
Abby
finishes that well.
Wambach with her second assist in the last 4 minutes of play. Shannon Boxx, her 13th international finish.
And the challenge in the 4-3-3 for the United States is always getting numbers forward, especially when you're only playing one attacking central midfielder. And there you see the difference it can make when a defensive central midfielder actually gets forward for the United States.
There's Fair, sending it up. Wambach wins it, heads it down to Mitt.
Rob, I don't think you saw this game because it wasn't on television, and I don't think you were in Rochester. However, when we played Iceland last, and I say we because I was on the field.
You're allowed.
I'm allowed to say it now. I've been fighting that one all game.
There's Laura Lindsey looking for Macmillan.
It was our first game after we won the Olympic gold medal. We go up 3-0 against them in a 6-minute span, just like now. About this time, Iceland went boom, boom, boom. 3 goals. We all looked at each other, started laughing, and said, okay, let's go. We got a game, girls.
Not sure Iceland is going to have that in their tank today.
I think I got an assist on their 3rd goal as well for Iceland.
You remember all of those points, don't you?
Yes, I gave him the ball. I said, you should thank me for that.
This portion of the match presented by Gatorade. 71st minute, 3-0 U.S. A 5-minute goal explosion for the U.S. began in the 64th minute. Danielle Fotopoulos, she had another one a minute later. Then 4 minutes after that, Shannon Boxx to put us at 3-0 for the U.S.
No, it was not 97 degrees in Rochester that night.
Rarely is it 97 in Rochester. Lindsey sends one in, headed up but not out, and there's the out. Frimpong, Kester, coughs it up. Iceland, nice give and go, and there's Frimpong showing the make-up speed. Great recovery.
Craig Ryan was commenting on Tina Frimpong, and he said, she's just new to the defense. She hasn't learned her defensive positioning yet. However, even if she's completely out of position, you can send a 60-yard ball, and she'll still get underneath it. And there's a great example of her speed and how she can make up for misplaced positions with her speed. Something I didn't have the luxury of having.
Another sub for Iceland. Iris Andre's daughter comes on. There's Wambach looking for her 3rd assist, or maybe her 1st goal today. Macmillan. And offside call.
It's good to see Shannon Macmillan back out there for the United States. She was an alternate on the 2004 Olympic team and was brought in last week in Portland, but had a hip flexor strain, so she didn't make the final roster. This is her 1st roster she's made since the residency in 2004.
U.S. set to make 2 more substitutions. Amy LePeilbet, Arizona State product, will be coming on, as will Leslie Osborne, Santa Clara University product. Kat Reddick, her day is done. Ditto, Lori Fair.
And Amy LePeilbet made a surprising start at right back for the United States against Canada 2 games ago. Greg Ryan said he liked her on the outside, but she's much more comfortable as a center back, and so he's putting her back into the middle of the line for the United States.
Frimpong maintains her balance. Swerving cuts. Fotopoulos out wide. Wambach. Dangerous service. Crashing Boxx. Boy, Abby showing her complete game today.
She sure is. When I talked to her before the game, she said, I'm focusing less on goal scoring and more on playmaking. And you can see some of the serves she's been dishing out today and just putting it on platters for her teammates. Boxy making a great run on that far post, but she said, you know, when we talk about that balance on the front line, one of the things I learned by playing with Mia is that it's all parts of the game. It's not just the goal scoring, it's playmaking, it's that balance.
Here's Shannon Boxx. Long range blast. Boxx out wide to Nitz. Looking for Topless, tough settle. I think she can settle that off her larynx. Pilvitt goes back, finds Mark Raff. 10 and 4 Patopoulos, cleared out. This portion of the match presented by the Home Depot. Mitz avoiding the tackle. Can she keep it in? Yes. Looking for her options. Heads up. Patopoulos.
Patopoulos is so good at getting things on frame and getting in positions, and she takes half chances and makes them full chances. Heather Mitz serving a great ball in, whipping across that back line, and Patopoulos has the presence to actually turn her hips and get that on frame from a side position.
Leslie Osborne wins that one. Patopoulos misplays it. We go down the field. Kat Reddick joining us live. And Kat, what's been the difference between the first half and the second half?
Well, I think the main thing is in the first half we kind of wore them down. We had some chances, but we didn't finish them. And this half, Photop gets in there, and within like 5 minutes, she scored 2 goals. So I think the difference is we wore them down, and we're finishing our chances.
Kat, you had a lot of players missing for the Nordic Cup. Christine Lilly gone with her camp. How was it in camp this week? A lot of new players getting looks?
You know, it was a fun camp. Yeah, we're missing the players in the Nordic Cup, and we're glad that they're winning, because I just heard they won today. And of course, we're missing Lil. But you know, it's a great opportunity for these players to come in, like Lori Lindsey, who's getting to play right now, and Leslie Osborne, and they haven't been in yet. So it's, you know, it's a good look for them, and it's fun for us to get to know different players and to see the talent that's rising right now.
Now, Kat, I know you're a big college football fan. Who's the team to beat in the SEC this year?
Well, no bias here, but of course Georgia and Florida.
Kat, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Always good to see you.
Good to see you.
She is like rabid about that football, boy.
So it happens when you grow up in Birmingham, Alabama.
That's right.
Man, you want your sweet tea, you want your biscuits, you want your chicken and dumplings, you want your college football. Topless laying it off. Back pass finds Mark Rapp. McMillan gives chase.
And the continual evolution of the women's national team, being 2005, a World Cup is not until 2007. Greg Ryan has talked about looking at a lot of new players. Given that chance, as we just mentioned with Christine Lilly at her camp, the Nordic Cup players out there. We've got a lot of new faces out there, and that's hard to find a rhythm when you have so many new faces and they know it's going to take time.
Now, as of this game, 27 players have earned a cap in 2005 under Greg Ryan, all part of the system to take a look at a lot of people and do some evaluating. Millen lets one go. It's similar to what Bruce Arena with the U.S. men's national team program seems to do with each cycle of the men's program that they go through. Bring in a ton of guys and just start weeding them out. Hey, you know what? You had your chance. Let's see what you can do with it. And it's a smart thing to do for men and women.
And the challenge right now for the women is they don't have a league. I mean, Bruce has a league to pull from. You know, they're having to play overseas. They're playing with guys. They're doing the W League. Anything they can do to get games in, with only having 9 international games this entire year. So hopefully, we'll get a league back. I'm hopeful. I'm confident we can get something going again and to have more players training on a consistent basis.
Such a huge burden and challenge on these women to maintain not just shape, but game shape, and that type of fitness.
It's such a different thing. Yeah, no question. We, for so many years, with the old ladies on the team, had to try and maintain both.
You didn't have to say old ladies, really.
Usually I say old bags, so that was nice.
Temperature right now, things cooling down here at the Home Depot Center. Still not what they would be having back home in Iceland for our visitors.
And now the United States going up 3 goals. It's the 80th minute. People are saying, well, what are they out there for? The game's over, and it's not, because for these women, this is an opportunity to get 10 minutes of international soccer in and play and learn from each other and get that time in. It's an evolutionary process, and that takes time on the field together.
And another opportunity to impress the coaching staff.
And already in 80 minutes, a shot from Abby Wambach on target. Already in 80 minutes, you can see Tina Frimpong's confidence rising. She's taking players on more. She's getting forward.
This portion of the match presented by Phillips. Frimpong has done herself well in your estimation today?
I think she's done well. I think the challenge for her, obviously, is going to be timing and being comfortable with coming from a more defensive team, bringing that same offensive game. Because for that outside back position, it's the timing of when to go. You can't go at all times.
Also, we haven't seen her have to do much actual defending today as well. So that's part of being a defender, is actually defending.
They say actually that's her biggest strength, because she's so fast. All of the forwards have said we have had an incredibly difficult time getting around her, and if you do, she's right there to catch up.
U.S. outshooting Iceland 26-0 this afternoon. Heather Mipp trying to see if she's got enough speed to get by that defender. Not on that occasion.
And I think Greg Ryan is going to look at how many set plays and free kicks they've had in this game and evaluate what they're doing as a team, because the runs off the ball are very static. They're not attacking the ball with their headers. They're standing when they're actually heading. They're not coming in moving.
Another sub. Shannon Boxx coming off for Angie Woznuk, also earning her first cap. Good moment for Angie, the Portland product.
2 first cappers out there today. Wearing number 9 for your first cap. How about that?
That's a little daunting.
Oh, dear.
And now, corner kick opportunity.
I'd be like, Coach, can I have a different number?
Yeah.
Can I have 99?
Maybe something in the 20s. No expectations.
Angie Woznuk was the star on the under-19 national team that played in a World Cup last year in Thailand. Won 3rd place. Fun attacking central midfielder, fun to watch.
McMillan with this corner kick. Here is Woznuk. Mark Graff right back to her.
Too many people running in.
Woznuk showing some great individual skill, cutting one back, no one there. Iceland tries to clear it out, and they do. 1v6 right now.
A lot of red surrounding one white.
Yeah, Steiner's daughter saying we're going to need some support system help here, people. But we go down to the field. We bring in our old friend, Lori Fair. And Lori, tell us how your time in France has helped you kind of get back with this national team program.
Well, you know, it's a different style over there for anything from strength training to the training and being able to watch the men. Obviously, you know, Olympic Lyonnais men were unbelievable. So watching the French players, you know, they don't have our athletes, but they have a soccer savvy about them, and I think we can learn a lot from them. And I don't know, I took a lot from it. I'm looking forward to going back.
Fair, it's so good to see you back in that midfield. Talk about this game today. Going into the 64th minute, 0-0 with Iceland. What are some of the things you guys need to work on as a team going forward?
Well, actually at halftime, as the midfielders, we talked a little bit about the defenders kind of using up their space, and instead, you know, Iceland wanted us to do that. So I said, why don't we get the ball from them, and little by little, they will inch up and kind of try to cheat, and then that space in behind the midfield is open, and that helped out a lot, also the mobility. And we said as a midfield, we need to be more mobile, and when we do, maybe the forwards will catch on and they'll be more mobile, and a lot of people were a lot more interchangeable in the second half.
Sounds like she's got a lot of energy left, doesn't she?
I know. Put her back out there, Coach.
Jules, you miss me, don't you?
And coming from that defensive central midfielder seam, we talked about that with the 4-3-3. Do you have the freedom with you and Boxy to get going, or is Greg giving you any direction with that?
No, he's just like, you know what, make sure one's back, you know, and we talked about just before the goal, hey, that attacking midfielder get in, but that weak side one will be open, and it's kind of what happened, you know. So Boxy scored.
Lori, thanks for your time. Always
You're
good
welcome.
to see you. Always good to hear from you.
Great job there.
Thanks a lot.
That interview kind of tells the story that this team is having fun again and really enjoying playing and being out and running and being together.
There is a definite ease to them, and you know, which is a hard balance when you're looking at so many different players. That's a hard thing to find.
Chance now for Wambach. Difficult to get that one on frame.
Great ball in by Lori Lindsey, and you could see Abby pointing to Danielle Fotopoulos saying this ball's coming back right at you. She just couldn't get around it to bring it across the face of the goal.
Iceland making a goalkeeper substitution. We'll take this break in the action to revisit our ESPN Wired. Kat Reddick reacting to the U.S. goals.
That's all right. Why don't you shoot the ball there? Hey, that's all right, Tina. That's all right. That's a good look. Bounce time. Bounce time. Here we go.
About time. About time.
What was that dance move, I want to know? Someone stop that.
Sandra Sigurdarder coming onto the field now, taking goalkeeping reins. A big 6'1" product.
I love to see those smiles, though. You see Kat enjoying the game, having fun, and that's what this team has been about for so many years, is working hard and playing hard. But then there's always smiles and laughter, which is always a very healthy thing.
Greg Ryan told me the other day, he really wanted his team to love stepping on the field again, and a large part of that really was how the players felt off of the field. He has less meetings now as Wambach surges forward, cross headed out. Less meetings, and tries to give off the impression to his players that they can make mistakes, that they're not going to be scolded for them.
And they're allowed the creativity you just saw between Abby Wambach and Leslie Osborne. Abby playing the ball back to Leslie. Nice spin, great mobility, and Osborne just finding that seam in between 4 Iceland defenders to find Abby on the other side.
Woznuk, back door, Fotopoulos, looking for 3.
Another great ball by a midfielder, Angie Woznuk, finding another seam.
Macmillan, nice move. What can she do with it? Intended for Wambach. World Cup qualifying continues for the U.S. men's national team. Wednesday, August 17th, Hartford, Connecticut, the host city, Trinidad and Tobago, the competition. See that one live on ESPN2, 8 p.m. Eastern. ESPN and ABC, official broadcast partners of the 2006 FIFA World Cup and Major League Soccer. Again, the U.S. men's national team in penalty kicks this afternoon at Giant Stadium, winning the CONCACAF Gold Cup 3-1 over Panama.
Angie Woznuk playing around with the ball in the midfield. I thought she was going to cut inside to then find Abby, who'd made a run wide, but she continued to go inside. But it's good to see these younger kids who step onto the field for their first international appearance, having the confidence to be on the ball and dribbling. It's always been the challenge in the past.
Woznuk sat out last year at the University of Portland, so she could play last year's FIFA Under-19 Women's World Championship in Thailand. Looking for Fotopoulos. Boy, unselfish play this afternoon from Abby Wambach.
And Danielle Fotopoulos giving her the thumbs up, because that's a beautiful ball in by Abby Wambach. And Danielle Fotopoulos just didn't quite read it, didn't anticipate it. By the time she went to go for it, it was too late.
The U.S. has emptied their bench. Everybody has played today outside of backup keeper Kristen Luckenbill. Danielle Fotopoulos, 2 goals, a minute apart, 64th and 65th minute. And then Shannon Boxx with one in the 69th minute, her 13th international goal. We're at 3-0 in the closing moments of this game. The U.S. is pushing for number 4. The U.S. still has not allowed a goal this year. Woznuk.
I'm loving the confidence of these young kids to come in and they start taking on. And I said that was always a challenge in the past, Rob. They would come in and they would be so nervous and they would be shaking on the ball, and it takes sometimes, and I know this well because it took the same for me, years to settle yourself and feel comfortable in the USA uniform.
And not only that, so many young players through the years that were brought up through the system would find themselves playing with Julie Foudy, Brandy Chastain, Mia Hamm. That's a little intimidating. The U.S. shut out until the 64th minute when that young lady, Danielle Fotopoulos, went on a bit of a tear, finding goal in the 64th and 65th minute. As the U.S. used those 2 goals to move on to a 3-0 victory today at the Home Depot Center.
And I think with the substitution, the subs that came in for the United States, a great spark off the bench. And you always want to see depth on that bench, and the United States getting just that with Danielle Fotopoulos, Leslie Osborne, Woznuk, Lori Lindsey.
Through 7 games this year, the U.S. women's national team has averaged exactly 3 goals per game. They have outscored their opposition 21-0. We'll be back to wrap it up from the Home Depot after this.
Self-defense, first rule, is 90% instinct. Like when I try to do this. Good. She covered. Now, what if I try to take your Bud Light?
Bud Light, great taste for your great times.
What's mine is mine.
It's that time of year again. Time to gear up for school at CompUSA, where you'll find the HP Pavilion DV1227 US Notebook PC featuring Int'l Centrino mobile technology. For the freedom, flexibility, and power to run your most demanding applications on the go. Get your back-to-school basics today from Int'l, HP, and CompUSA.
Sport is sport. A foul's a foul. And a bat's a bat, even if it's flat. 10 feet on the west side is 10 feet on the east side. Football is football, unless it's football. Now a win's a win, a loss is a loss. But no matter what, you better come with it. Because it's 90 feet to first, no matter where home is.
Hey everybody, who's ready?
Oh, I gotta take my XLA.
Did you?
Whoa, where's my XLA? Hey, did you take my XLA?
So, is this what you take, XLA? Yeah, it's amazing. It really helps me keep the pounds off. So, where did you get this bottle? Inside. Why? Oh no.
Get your XLA today at your favorite supercenter, Dwayne Reed and GNC.
Just don't mess with Marshall's XLA.
All-new 2006 Infiniti M in stock. On sale now at Southwest Infiniti. Come experience the Southwest Infiniti difference.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. The U.S. women's national team remains unbeaten here at the Home Depot Center and unbeaten in 2005 with a 3-0 win over Iceland. Julie Foudy, Rob Stone here with you as we wrap up our coverage. Well, who stood out in your eyes in this game?
I think Danielle Fotopoulos coming in the second half, just like she did against the Ukraine, put in 2 goals last week, 2 goals again this week to give them the spark off the bench that they needed.
And with guys like Christy Welsh out there, Abby Wambach, There's a lot of talent up top. Abby Wambach with 2 assists this afternoon as well. Kat Reddick, another solid defensive outing for the U.S. Again, they have yet to allow a goal in 2005. Greg Ryan, another big win for the U.S. as they move on to 7-0-0 this year. Our final score here in Carson, California, 3-0 for the United States. Daniel Fotopoulos getting things going in the 64th minute. Want to remind you, great night of soccer coming this Thursday. Chelsea, DC United live on ESPN2 at 8 Eastern. 2005 World Series of Poker is up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Julie Foudy and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. Have a great weekend.